Hey guys, and welcome to the first Fat Loss in 15 episode in a long time. Actually, just having a wee look here, and the last time we posted was 27th of November, which is disappointing. But first off, you can probably see Freya here. She thinks the wind mic is something to chew on. Yep, that's not a toy, Freya. Come down, go back to sleep. So, we're just going to get into a wee bit of a recap episode and just kind of go over where we are right now. So 27th of November 2025, it is now the 9th of February, and there's a few reasons. Number one, on the 31st of November last year, both myself and Lucy got struck down with the flu. And if you guys have had it or had it at the tail end of last year, it was absolutely awful. It is the worst I've ever felt in my life. And honestly, I still feel like I'm chasing my tail from November last year. We were both floored for about 3 weeks, 2 weeks being incredibly out, and then they just fatigue afterwards. And then on top of that, December is always a really busy time for us. We get loads of sign-ups for the new year. We have loads of social events. We have loads of just general social events for us and our friends. So it felt like as soon as we got back, I was full of fatigue, and we had loads of people signing up, and it just felt like it was just non-stop. And then we get into the Christmas holidays, which work comes to a complete standstill. I still wasn't feeling great. And it was a very busy period, had loads of organising to do around the house, had loads of work to catch up on, and then Lucy ended up in emergency surgery on the 30th, which then knocked us for 6 as well, and she was off work for 2.5 weeks. And yeah, it was just a crazy end to last year and a crazy start to this year. So I just feel like I've just been covering shifts, chasing my tail, had like 3 days off in the whole of January, and just loads of stuff got put in the back burner. And it's really disappointing because I wanted to make a right good go at this at the tail end of last year. But now we're into February, things have started to settle down a little bit, and recording this on my brand new camera as well, new microphone to go with it. So I bought that to try and make it easier to get these things done, to get more content done in the gym. And yeah, that's kind of why there's been a 6-7 week hiatus since the last one. So we're going to try and get back to these. Well, we're not going to try. I'm committing to get back to the Fat Loss in 15 once per week, and we'll try and follow the usual personal, professional, and business. Well, it's been so long, I can't even remember if that's correct. And then I'm actually tempted to start recording some of my own training sessions, and you can come along and join me documenting my journey as I go through my training, especially on this year where myself and Lucy are getting married. So I want to be in great shape for that. So that's kind of personal where we are right now. Doing lots of training up to the tail end of last year, and actually hit quite a few PBs, and then had the 6-week break and have been going into some high rep training at the start of this year. But I'm going to start a new training plan as of tomorrow, which I'll need to write out and get going. But there we go. That's where we are fitness wise. Not fitness wise, personal wise right now. So let's kind of have a look at the business aspect. So that's personal, business, fat loss. That's what we're talking about, or fitness. Business wise, it's February. It is what it is. And today we've actually started our first 6-week accountability sprint of the year. Last year we did one right at the start of the year and it went down really well, but I'm not going to go into details. 2025 was just a really tough year all round. And then, as I just spoke about, it ended pretty poorly as well. So we're just doing a hard reset. We did a really good accountability sprint last year. Just kept it simple, did it on WhatsApp. The reason we do this is that's been me coaching for 12 years now. And the biggest thing that I've come to realise is accountability and support is what the vast majority of people need. Everyone knows what to do. They just struggle doing it. So our goal with this 6-week accountability sprint is to not give somebody some advanced training plan, not to give them some really cool nutritional tips. It's literally just give them a morning prompt, give them that wee kick up the arse in the morning, and then check in the evening and get them to get involved. It's really that simple. And from my experience, having that little bit of accountability in the morning and that accountability in the evening in a group where you're having, I suppose, positive peer pressure and being held accountable by not only yourself, but by your coach and by the community around you, getting those 3 layers of accountability, I don't want to say forces, but it does force you to stay more consistent and actually do the things you said you're going to do, because the results come from doing, they don't come from speaking, okay? Or as the adage goes, actions speaks louder than words, and that's Freya going for the, not sure eyes, just absolutely falling the microphone here. And instead of just doing it on WhatsApp now, we've upgraded to school. So something which is a community-based, like, educational platform, which I'm quite interested to get into, because back during COVID in 2020, I started a community-based Facebook group, and I wish for all my heart that I continued on with doing it, because we were helping loads of people. It was free, and we got upwards of 250 people in it within about 3 months, and it was really highly active. People were loving it, getting loads of good help for it. But because I opened the gym, I actually stopped doing it, and it turned into a bit of a dead page. So now I've got a wee bit of my time back. I'm going to use this platform of school, run these accountability sprints throughout the year, and then maybe build it into one more of these community groups for people to come in and get help, get advice, get accountability, get support on their fitness journey. So if you're watching this right now and you're not in that group, please feel free to reach out and I'll get you involved. Because as I say, you don't need another plan. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more discipline. What you need is the right support, the right guidance, and the right accountability for you to stay consistent enough for long enough to achieve the results you're looking for. Okay, so that's where the business is right now. I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I'll keep you updated over the next couple of weeks how that's going. And now let's go on to the fat loss or fitness aspect of this. So this is something that will probably be changing. It might even change the title of the series, because we've pivoted our business away from being a fat loss business. And there's there's actually two real key factors for that. Number one is the rise of GLP-1 drugs. And we've seen them in the gym and they work amazingly well, but only if they're done properly. And that is still working on the behaviors, still working on the habits, still working on your strength training and your fitness, so that your body doesn't just waste away to nothing. Because when you're using these drugs, you're essentially eating and fueling your body way less. So if you're not telling your body to maintain its bone mass, to maintain its muscle mass, it will take from everywhere. It will take your muscle as well as fat. It will take your bone density as well as muscle and fat. So you have to be working on the habits, working on your underlying behaviors, and as well as actually keeping your body strong, fit and healthy. So we have recently renamed our program to the Strong and Confident Method, because what we actually help people with is become strong, become capable, become confident in their own skin, in and outside of the gym environment. That is what we help people with. And the fat loss is just a sub aspect of that. That is almost like a side effect of taking care of yourself, of going to the gym regularly, of eating better, of improving your habits. So we have pivoted. So I might have to pivot what I'm doing right here, because it no longer aligns for what we do. So what I'm going to talk about now is, instead of really focusing on fat loss, we're going to talk about just something that's really just popped into my head right now. And this is what Lucy had a bunch of our clients doing over the weekend. And that was a wee bit of a goal set. January is always a bit of a struggle. We're into February now. So what we can actually look at is doing some real goal setting. We're back into our routines. We have a clear run of it up to Easter, summertime. So first off, when you're on any fitness journey, this is the most important place, in my opinion, to start. And that is asking yourself, what 1 to 3 things are you absolutely not willing to sacrifice to achieve your goals? And this might be your weekly dinner out with your partner. This might be 2 or 3 big holidays a year where you think of nothing else but being on holiday. This could be, just a bar of chocolate every single day. But why this is so important is it so we don't take the misery out of your fitness, or we don't turn your fitness journey into complete misery by getting rid of all the things you have. But one thing we need to do is manage our expectations around this. The longer that list is, the slower your progress is going to be, but the more of a normal life you're going to live. The shorter that list, the quicker your results are going to be, but it's going to be more overwhelming. There's more of an impact onto your real life. But the most important thing is, it is transient. There's different seasons of the year where your list will be shorter, and different seasons of the year where the list will be longer. And it's just making sure that you manage and pair your expectations up at the time where it is. So when the list is shorter, you're going to make quicker progress. When the list is longer, you're going to make slower progress. But as long as we align your thought process with the size of your sacrifice list, you're going to be absolutely fine, because it's when your alignment and your perspective gets out of sync, that's where the issues happen. That's where the stress, the anxiety, and the worry that you're not actually making progress. Okay. And then after that, once we've got our sacrifice list down, we need to write down our goals. What do we really want to achieve? And we want to look at what's a short-term goal, a medium-term goal, and then a stretch goal. So our short-term goal could be something like, I want to train 3 times a week, every week for the next 4 weeks, whilst getting 8K steps and eating 3 protein meals or 3 high protein feeds every single day. A medium term goal might be then pushing that over a 12-week period, but then you've got an outcome, which would be over that period, I want to be able to lift a certain amount of weight. I want to have lost maybe 5 to 10 pounds. I want to be feeling better and looking better in my own skin. I want to see some tangible results out of that. And then we have a look at what's called a stretch goal. And this is something that's maybe been niggling around in the back of your head for a while that you would really love to do, but you've never had the confidence to actually go out and do it. But this could be something as simple as, I actually want to go and run a 5K, run a 10K, do a high rocks, do a tough mudder. Or it could be something simple as wearing a bikini instead of the bathing suit when you're on holiday, or even just showcasing your arms on a night out, because that's been one before. Something that makes you feel really uncomfortable to think about, but you know it's achievable and you want to go and do it. So there, having your stretch goal gives you that extra bit of motivation to keep going, because I've always liked the saying, aim big, fail big. If you set a really big stretch goal, and yes, you might not get there, but by aiming for that, you've started to align yourself and take the actions of someone who would be there. So even when you fail, you're going to be much further along your journey than you would be if you aimed small. Okay, so that is our fitness topic done for today. That felt a bit weird sitting here and talking for 12 minutes, as I say, because I've not done it in the last 6 weeks. But keep your eyes peeled. We're going to have a lot more of these coming, especially now I've got the excuse with a really good camera, which makes things a lot easier. I can just plonk it down and just get after it. And then, as I say, I'm going to try and get into recording my training, where I'll stick this on my hat or on my top, because I'm currently growing my hair out as well. So I will be wearing a lot of hats at the moment. Yeah, so there might be 2 videos a week coming. I'm really excited to see where this goes, to take the business to the next level, and hopefully take on a new member of staff very quickly, which will give me more time to do this sort of stuff and just showcase what Club 300 is, who we help, and my personal and Lucy's personal journey along the way. All right, guys, have a nice day, and I'll speak to you soon.